create stuff. I mean, value as a human. So, there's somebody that we both know said that, so that I don't know how that will change when we're talking about, what it is, to do it except for the fight, and the people have to fight for their right,
The
to
fighting part is the problem.
I know. And then, yeah, and talking about that, I mean, don't just mention, certain jobs are going to be paid this and certain ones going to be paid that. And then it's like, if you want to up level, then you have to shift, you have to switch, and you have to know that you are worthy to move. I mean, even
Yeah.
younger people ought to be able to do certain jobs. It's just like, I enjoyed my whatchamacallit, but it wasn't for me to 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 stay there at the wages in which I was getting over time, and even raises were minimal, for certain jobs, cashiering and things of that nature, or fast food and things of that nature. And even when I thought about managing or leading, I'm like, hell, they work even harder than the damn people they manage. And I'm like, well, that didn't make no sense to me. So, you know,
Yeah. That's a whole
that's
nother
the
level of managing people.
economic, yeah, battle of and then lifestyle. That all, sets in that. But I also believe that the grander doesn't mean it's the greater. And that was a time where I did it, there's more response, more that than to have something comfortable enough where you have something where you bring people, you do this, you have the opportunity to travel, and the one of the things that I want to get back to is my set on the perfectionism state, and overworking is one of those things. When we look at
Mm.
that is really huge. And when I was talking in a conversation we had off camera, about a place where, and I mentioned it yesterday, and I can't remember where it was, but I'm pretty sure it's not the only place where everybody is or in community, and in communal, with one another, where they're working. They probably don't have the big house, this and that, but they have the comfort where they have the freedom to enjoy life at peaceful, which will allow you to age gracefully and live longevity, and that, and look at the spiritualness of coming together, and looking at kindness, and how you'd be wanted to be treated if you hadn't went through what you went through, when you were younger. And we're going through a process. I'm going through a process now that you're very much aware of, and getting to the depth of our internal beingness versus the outside. If we can get away from being in the world and coming more within, then we'll see, the truth of the matter of what's going on the outside is not kosher. This separation, the mind, and you got to be able to be in charge of your own mind. And you can, if you go, then you can tell from your gut that this ain't right. It's just like I talk about listening to that inner inkling, that sense that says, go another way. Don't go this way. You don't need to know why. It's just don't. So when you look at the world and everything that's going on, you know that this is not right. You know that this, and I don't like right and wrong, but that this is not, it's not wholesome. It's not of oneness, for one.
Yeah.
You know, it's just not. And so there's this economical divide. Why is it so widespread? Like I said, I don't have nothing to do with money. What you do to get it is how you do to get it, and are you happy in the midst of doing it? You know, are
Yeah.
you in the,
I think
yeah.
that's an important part as someone that struggled with it. And I think that if you can find a level of happiness and enjoyment in everything that you do and partake of in your life, you'll start to relinquish this need to be fighting for your life all the time,
Mm-hmm.
because
Mm-hmm.
that's not healthy at
Yeah.
all. And that's how you can control and
What was the whole thing? It's like what we went through. I don't know, because I actually go, I don't use this that the year that sums in. I always go if it's April to the next year, and I call that a year. But people would say it's been 6 years since, the thing that we talked about, and that we didn't learn anything, from
oh, COVID.
yeah.
Yeah, it hasn't been 6 years yet.
Yeah, that's what I'm
Well,
saying. It
here's the
hasn't been.
thing,
But
because
people would actually count 2020 as the year, but I
I
go
feel like,
2021,
but there's a
2022.
reason why it was called COVID-19, because it started happening in the year before. Because
Yeah,
I
that's what we told them.
remember me and my mom got like really sick. It was just really weird. It came in and it hit us really, really quick.
Hmm.
And like this was like in November. And I have never
Okay.
felt that bad before in my life. But
Interesting.
it
Yeah.
moved through really, really quickly. And if you really go back, it started happening in the summer of 2019.
Hmm.
That's where
I
cases
didn't
started
recognize
to,
that.
yeah, it started happening in 2019. But because it
Yeah,
wasn't
no doubt. Yeah.
a mass scale of reporting, it didn't make the news cycle. I'll say that the
Yeah, because I
cycle
was
that
traveling. I was
repeat.
out of town in 2019.
Yeah, so I feel like we also have to let go of trying to categorize things as well, because it causes a sense of limitation and a need to fight
Yes.
for containment. And
Yes.
I think it's hard. We're not meant to be contained beings, because
Agreed.
we're energetic expressions that
Of
have
a
such,
life force. Yeah.
yeah, and that life force has so much power to shift the weather,
Yeah.
to change the clouds, to move the clouds so you can see the sun,
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
encourage the rain to fall or the rain to pause. And when we realize the power, when we have that skill set of tapping in to our power like that consistently, we
Yeah.
become a threat.
Yeah.
And whenever I see like things, people that are identified as threatening, I'm always curious, like, well, why? Why is this person a threat?
Mm-hmm.
Is that true?
But that's interesting because we looked at the economic is that people are trying to, strip us of our divine gifted nature as well. And I don't know how you can strip it or try to limit it. So I was
You
watching something
can't.
with a like I said, I do feed other stuff. So I was looking at the show Tracker.
Oh my gosh. The things that you be watching. She watches SWAT, Tracker.
I love Big Swat
Okay.
fan.
Tracker. You like that show? My mom
Yeah,
watches it. Okay.
yeah. And this show had to do with a missing girl who was gifted, healing gifted. And people find that evil. And like you said, if you go to these other parts of here in our country where people ain't left a little, I'm just gonna keep it. I'm keeping it 100. Ain't left the little towns, and even people who didn't leave this town that been in or this one. And I remember a young man saying something to me. We're on our way to Idaho or something, and we were trying to do some business to help the people at that particular place with one of my colleagues. And I was like, oh, I'm going up here. He's like, I wouldn't go up there. What's up there? Ain't nothing up there, this, that, and the other. And I'm like, well, you ain't never been, and neither have I. And how could you speak about something for which you ain't, especially if you ain't been nowhere out of the city that this is all you've known. You don't know or get to value anything until you've left it or went to visit some other city, some other country, some other something. But going back to the story is our fear. We're talking about the fear of one another, the fear of giftedness, the fear of the natural ability of some to heal something or use medicinal things that come in our earth that our people have learned that help heal anything you get, like a snake bite or anything. I'm just going with that. Most people suck that out, but to put something on your body to have you sweat it out, to draw it out,
Cancer,
that can
the
help to heal.
flu, the
And
cold.
so yeah, and this girl knew about these things and just the power of her hands. I was told this by a former spouse of mine, but to have that and people fear what you don't understand or know about. That is just natural, phenomenon that somebody that can help you, that you can fear it and call it anything other than what it is, other than evil. Because everything ain't evil just because you don't know about it or not aware of it.
Hmm,
And
that
then
last
these
part.
people actually took her to help the father. Okay, spoiler alert. I won't tell you the title, but a little bit. And then when it was happening, then they want to take her and get her off because they didn't understand. You're gonna ask somebody, and the process is happening, and the body shakes and everything's going on, and it was just that. And then after they were gonna do it, then they were gonna kill her. So it's like, what is this? So you want to have a cake, then you want to tear the cake up. You know. I just it's something. It's just hard to comprehend. Just some food for thought, y'all. Think about it. Just think about it for yourself. Because there's herbs. I love cilantro. So when we look at the certain things in the war against nature, there's a war against nature.
There's a war on every damn thing. There's a war on water, air, the
The
clouds.
very things that sustain you. And we get in. But this is a herb that somebody had me made a soup out of because I ate something that I don't know what. I was at a buffet at one of the casinos, and I had trouble at this place before where I got food poisoning. Didn't keep it in, and my stomach started paining after I had this food, and this was in like within a short period of time because my mother was with me. Um, and the couple we were out with said, he's like, go have them make you this cilantro soup. I said, huh? Cilantro soup. And whatever it was, it took under 15 or 10 minutes to settle what was not going with me in my stomach. I've been a cilantro fan ever since.
You know how some people taste cilantro as being soapy?
They have. I haven't tasted it
But
that
do you
way.
know why? I mean,
Why?
because it has some people experience it as soapy because it does have soap-like properties. It can go in and wash away. It cleans things out.
Yeah, I've heard them. I've never tasted the soapiness, so I can't. I'll have to explore it more. But I mean, I have
No,
had it
it's
because
just
I
not,
have had
you
some
just
of the
don't
herbs.
experience it like that.
I don't. I
Yeah.
haven't.
I just find it interesting that some people actually experience it that way because I'm
Yes,
like, that's
I've
because that's
heard it.
exactly what it does. It's like a
Yeah,
soap.
yeah. I just found out about another plant, but I mean, how can you want to destroy nature's natural healing process? And then there's a plant that I just found out about that if you squeeze it, then I guess you can grow it. I don't know if it would be great to grow here or something. You'd have to have a whole setup that you can just squeeze the juice out, and it's just naturally a natural soap, and it
Oh,
turns
yeah, yeah,
red.
yeah.
It
Hmm.
turns red. I'd have to go to my phone to
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. I think
pull
it's
that
called a
plant
soap
up.
plant.
It is called the soap plant, but but there's a name for it. And I'm not sure if I could pull it up just for people to know. I think I'm gonna have to delete some stuff because I've been looking at a few. Oh, it's called shampoo ginger. It's called a bitter ginger plant, or
Is
a
it?
pine cone lily.
I got different
Um,
things.
Clumping perennial plant native to tropical Asia, obviously. and you can just squeeze it. Once it's ripe, you just squeeze it. I don't know if anybody can see it, but it looks like this.
No, they
Okay.
can't see it. You can
Yeah,
look it up. Look
yeah,
it
they
up.
can look it up. But anyway. But yeah, so and there's a video where it should tells you how you could possibly grow it. But obviously it's tropical. You'd have to set it up in that arena. But with that being said, y'all, I think I know you're gonna have your take on it. We'll continue this conversation going forward.